Yeah, hi Jing. So nice to talk to you today. Um, I would like to ask you some question. I know that you are the film editor of the Everything Everywhere All at Once. So can you tell me that how you get into the group that work on this film editing job?
Absolutely. So I'm a filmmaker. I've been working in film for more than 10 years now, and I live in Los Angeles. And in 2020, I interviewed for a job to be an assistant editor. I had an interview with the Daniels and the editor, Paul Rogers. And during the interview, I showed them a short film that I had directed and edited. It was a short kung fu film. And because of my film and my experience directing and editing fight scenes, action scenes, and choreography, I think they decided that I was a good fit. So I joined the team of three other assistant editors.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me that what are the special or challenges that you face when you work on this film?
Absolutely. So even though most people think that it's a big film, it actually is really, it's actually a very small film and only a handful of people worked on it. Usually you have hundreds and hundreds of people working on a single film. Our film was a tiny, small film, and we didn't have as much money as other films. So I think one of the biggest challenges was working with a small team to do everything. And so that means that, if you are on set, you're just helping in any way that you can. You don't do one thing, you do multiple things because you're working on a small team with other people. I think that was also a benefit for us because we turned into a very tight knit team and we always supported one another. So that was a challenge for us that ended up being a positive.
Mm-hmm. So actually, have you thought about the film would get Oscars like at the end?
I no, absolutely not. This is the first feature film that I've ever worked on. Before this, I worked on documentaries and music videos, commercials, but this was my first big industry film. And I worked on it for 5 months, and every single day I had so much fun. I got out of bed so quickly because I was just so excited to go to work and work with other creative people. So there was no way that we had even imagined that it would get this kind of reception. And I'm really glad that people love the film and that I hope that people in China like it too.
Mm-hmm. So I saw your picture that you took pictures with Michelle Yeoh. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, is it your first time that you met him at the Dolby Theater, right?
I actually saw Michelle Yeoh on set. I went to set a couple of times, helping my boss. Sometimes Paul would need to go to set to show different scenes that he had edited to the directors or to the executives, or sometimes we would even show the cast and crew what we already had edited. So I saw Michelle one time on set. She had multiple stunt doubles who looked exactly like her. And so sometimes on set, you're walking around and you think you see 4 or 5 Michelle Yeohs. But one time at the crafty table, the snack table, I saw Michelle and I said hi to her. I didn't want to bother her too much because she was working, but I saw her on set a lot. And but that was my first time. My first time speaking to Michelle Yeoh was at the Oscars. Yes.
I see. So how about like K Kwai Kwan? So he got the supporting editor. So how do you think of him? Did you talk to him?
I have talked to Ki Hui. He is such a funny guy. I've also talked to the grandpa, the guy who played the grandpa. They're so funny. I think after we stopped filming, there was a rap party, and I saw the both of them there, and I introduced myself as one of the assistant editors, and Ki made me promise that I would make him look good in the movie, and I promised him that I would. So I hope I didn't disappoint him.
I see. So I think like after the Monterey Park shooting, so actually the Everything Everywhere All at Once, the crew, they went to a restaurant in the Monterey Park. Did you go there, or did you join any kind of parties after the shooting?
Well, we have had a lot of parties after the filming, but after the shooting in Monterey Park, I went to pay my respects to the victims in Monterey Park and to visit the dance studio where it happened. I didn't go with the this film, but I went on my own to pay respects to what happened.
I see, I see. So I just want to know some background about you. So are you growing in Los Angeles? And so are you living in San Gabriel Valley? So can you briefly explain your background a little bit to our readers?
Sure, absolutely. I actually grew up in North Carolina, which is very far away from Los Angeles. And when I was growing up, I was the only it in my high school there was two Asians, one me and another Asian. So I actually moved to California to be around more Chinese people. And then I've always been a artist and a filmmaker, so then I decided that Los Angeles is the best place for me.
I see. So how about after this film, so are you still working on other film project, or you take a rest because the Everything Everywhere All at Once is like too much work to do, so you have to take a vacation?
Well, actually, so we finished the project back in 2020. It's already been 3 years.
Mm.
Um, I think because of the pandemic and what happened to movie theaters, it took a while for us to get into the theaters. But I've been working for the last 3 years. I'm working now as a commercial editor and a music video editor, and I love what I do. When I'm not editing, I'm directing as well, and I'm also writing. I'm writing my own TV show right now. Um, it's about a female alien who is Chinese, and I want to explore what it's like for a Chinese alien to exist in our future.
Mm-hmm. I see. So, oh, I wonder that what does the Everything Everywhere All at Once mean to you? So, do you get more opportunities in the future?
I hope I do. When I was working on that film and still in Los Angeles, it's very rare to find women working in film, much less Asian women. So I really hope that this opens up new opportunities for me and also more opportunities for other Asian people. I hope that audiences will want to hear more Chinese stories and that we will be telling more Chinese stories in our future. So far, it has opened up new opportunities for me, and I love the film. You know, again, it was 3 years ago, so I remember working on set and just being amazed that we're telling a story about a Chinese family. And because it was such a small project, I helped in a lot of different ways. For example, the art department, there wasn't a Chinese person on the art department. So sometimes they would ask me for advice on how to make different locations look authentically Chinese. For example, the apartment that the family lives in, that's above the laundry room, I did a lot of work to, I consulted with the art directors and the PD, and I gave them a lot of suggestions on how to make the apartment look authentically Chinese. Um, so I forgot your question.
Yeah, and I just say that what does the movie mean to you? I believe. Yeah, because
Yes. So yeah, I think when I was working on helping to make the apartment look more Chinese, I was just so shocked and surprised that we are seeing more stories like our true life on the screen. And I think we need to do more of that. So I love this film. I feel so blessed to have been able to work on it with other talented people. Everybody who worked on the film is really, really nice, which doesn't happen a lot. So I feel like everybody who worked on the film is part of my family, and I hope to work with them in the future as well.
So do anyone congratulate you after the film got the Oscars?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I went with my team to the Oscars and we just had an amazing time.
I see. So do you have any final thoughts that you want to tell our readers?
Yeah, I just want to encourage more Chinese women to get into the arts. I think that, I think that as a culture, we don't appreciate art as much as we can, especially modern art. And I want to encourage Chinese artists to be vulnerable and put themselves out there and just speak their truth. I want to see more Chinese stories. I want to see more Chinese female filmmakers around LA, and I want to see more Chinese people at the Oscars. Um, so yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you. So I just stopped the recording right now.
Okay, great.